Every time that you glance at your watch for the time, you're participating in a 5,000-year-old ritual. 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 360 degrees in a circle. We accept these numbers as natural, almost inevitable, but they're not. They're the legacy of a civilization that lived between two rivers in a place that we now call Iraq. Today we're going to take a step back in time and examine why the world today still runs on the number 60. Around 3000 BCE in ancient Mesopotamia, the Sumerians were building cities like Uruk, Ur, and Lagash. They were trading grain, measuring land, and tracking seasons. And to manage a growing civilization, they needed something fundamental, which was a reliable way to count. Unlike our modern base 10 system built around 10 figures, the Sumerians developed something completely different, a base 60 system. Today we call it a sexagesimal. But why 60? Well, because 60 is extraordinarily divisible. It can be evenly divided by 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, by 10, 12, 15, 20, as well as 30. In a world without calculators or decimal fractions, this mattered. 60 made complex fractions simpler. It made trade easier and measurement more practical. This wasn't abstract math, it was survival math. Centuries later, the Babylonians inherited and refined this system, but they did something completely transformative. They turned it towards the sky. Night after night, Babylonian astronomers tracked the movement of stars, planets, and constellations. To map the heavens, they divided the circle, the path of the sun across the sky, into 360 degrees, 6 times 60, each degree divided into 60 smaller units, and each of those divided again. The circle became mathematical, the sky became measurable, and with that, time became structured. Because in the ancient world, astronomy and timekeeping were inseparable. To track the stars was to track the seasons, and to track the seasons was to track life itself. Greek astronomers like Hipparchus and later Claudius Ptolemy adopted Babylonian mathematics. They used base 60 divisions to record celestial coordinates. Centuries later, Islamic scholars preserved and expanded this astronomical knowledge, and then during the Renaissance, Europe inherited it. By the time mechanical clocks began appearing in the 14th century, dividing hours into 60 minutes was already mathematically standardized. The clock didn't invent the concept of 60, it inherited it. Early mechanical clocks didn't always look like the ones we know today. Some divided daylight into unequal hours depending on the season. But as mechanical engineering improved, consistency became possible. And when watchmakers needed a system to divide time evenly, they turned to the mathematical language already embedded in astronomy. 60 minutes per hour, 60 seconds per minute. A Babylonian framework translated into brass gears and escapements. Every ticking balance wheel is a mechanical echo of ancient Mesopotamia. The sexagesimal system shapes more than just watches. It also shapes geometry. There are 360 degrees in a circle, which means 60 minutes for each degree and 60 seconds for each minute of an arc. Navigation, longitude and latitude, also relies on this division. Cartography depends on it. Even astrology, with its 12 zodiac signs spread across a 360-degree ecliptic, is built on the same mathematical foundation. When you rotate a bezel, when you track a GMT hand across 24 hours, when you measure elapsed time on a chronograph, you are using ancient mathematics. So, why didn't we switch to a base 10 time? After all, during the French Revolution, there was an effort to decimalize time, 10 hours per day and 100 minutes per hour. And it failed, simply because base 60 is more practical. It divides cleanly into halves, thirds, quarters, and sixths, which is very valuable for real-world measurement. In some ways, the Sumerians chose the most resilient number in human history. What fascinates me most isn't that we still use base 60, it's that we so rarely think about it. Modern watches are feats of engineering, silicone escapements, chronometer certifications, high-beat movements, and yet the framework inside them, the way we divide time itself, was decided before iron tools were common, before Rome, before Greece, before written philosophy. Your wristwatch may be modern, but the math inside is ancient. The next time you glance at your watch and see the second hand sweep past 60, remember, you're not just measuring time. You're participating in a system born between the Tigris and the Euphrates over 5,000 years ago. And in a strange way, that makes every watch, no matter how modern, a continuation of one of humanity's oldest mathematical ideas. This will be the first installment in a quarterly series exploring the foundations of horology, because before there were watches, there were numbers. Until next time, peace.